So we will start with the topic that is metallization. That is the last topic of third unit, basically. So it will not take that much of time. So we will start the topic. So here, basically, we have gone through different steps in case of device fabrication. So in that, we have seen the lithography and etching, and after that, the final step. So first of all, we will be doing the lithography, then etching, and after that we will be doing diffusion or ion implantation. That will be an n plus region we will be depositing for source and drain. And after that, after deposition of source and drain, we will be going with the metallization. Okay, so metallization will be the last step in case of device fabrication. So here, basically, so in metallization we are going to grow metal layer or metal contact. So basically, this metallization will be done for interconnection purpose. So this metallization will be for interconnection purpose, or also for contact. So this metallization will be used for contact development. So contact growth, we will be using metallization. Different type of metals are used here. So that different type of metals we use is aluminium. We will be using aluminium, and polysilicon is used as a gate metal for connecting the gate terminal, and all other connections will be done by the aluminium. And other metals are also used, so we will see like what are the different metals we should be using. So basically, our main motive to use the metals will be with respect to different properties of the metal. So we cannot use all the metals. We will inspect some of the metals that is suitable for providing the contact, as well as you can say the stability, reliability, these properties, that all the metals that are showing this type of properties, that only can be used for a contact and interconnection in case of device fabrication and device interconnection. Okay, so the properties that we will be seeing in a metal that should be used listed this uh, table, basically here. So here, these are the different design properties of metallization for an integrated circuit. Here, these are the different listed properties that is desired for metallization. So for metallization, the metal should be showing the property of this low resistivity. Metal should be low resistivity, having low resistivity. Easy to form means metallization process should be done without any difficulty, and easy to etch and pattern generation. That means uh, when metal is deposited, so it would be easy to etch out whatever extra materials have been deposited, that it can be easily etch out, and whatever pattern we require, we can generate that pattern easily, and should be stable in oxidizing ambience. So in presence of oxygen, the stability should be high in case of whatever metal we are going to use. So its stability should be high. Okay, so will be having high stability in case terms of metal, and here mechanical stability should be there, so it will be strong also in case of we are going to use for metallization, and it should be providing a smooth surface whenever it is deposited. It should be providing a smooth surface and stability throughout should be there. Okay, so there should be stability throughout the processing. Okay, including high temperature. So if we are going to operate for high temperature or low temperature, the property of metal should not be changing, and no reaction with final metal. That means whatever uh, final metal is there, it should not be a reactive to the metal that is present. Okay, and should not contaminate the device. It should not be such that it is going to contaminate the device or wafer or substrate, whatever. And it should be having good device characteristics, as well as its stability should be for higher time period. Okay, so there are different properties that metal should be showing before going for metallization. The next topic, that is, what are the different metallization possibilities, or what is the different metallization choices that is done for different operations or applications. So in case of uh, gates and interconnection and contacts, to make a gate interconnection and contact, we use these type of metals. So polysilicons, silicides, nitrides and carbides, these are the different examples or choices in case of these type of application. If we need to find out that use a metal that is used for a diffusion barrier, if to avoid the diffusion, some inhibitors or barriers are used. So in that case, nitrides, carbides, borides and uh, alloys are used. So in case of titanium and molybdenum, alloys are used basically here. So silicides, so these are the materials that you should be using in case of diffusion barriers. And for the top level, always the aluminum is used. Okay, so for top level for contact, this aluminum should be used. And selectively formed metallization on silicon only. So whatever uh, to make the metallization on silicon, we should be using some of the silicides, tungsten and aluminum. So these are the different metals that should be used for selectively metallizing the silicon in that case. So they are the different application and their respective choices. Okay, so basically in case of metallization, there are two different types of metallization. So in that, two different type of metallizations are there. So two different type of metallizations that we should be going to study in this topic. So one is vacuum evaporation. Second one is sputtering technique or sputtering method. Okay, so here there are some fixed steps that need to be followed, like in case of etching. Similarly, there are some steps in case of metallization also. It is having some steps. So the first step is that we should be converting. The first step is convert a solid metal into gas or vapor. So the first step is, so we are going to do the metallization. So metallization is basically done by using physical vapor deposition. So here in case of metallization, we will be doing the physical vapor deposition. We will not be using the chemical vapor deposition. So physical vapor deposition means it will be having less contamination and it will be specific to the material that we are going to evaporate. Okay, so it will not be having any side effects, or it will not be having an extra reaction with the other materials. So here physical evaporation is used. In that physical evaporation, there are two methods. One is vacuum evaporation, another one is sputtering method. So these two are the physical methods. Okay, so first step will be, there is, in the first step we will be using the metal. First we will be taking the metal. In that metal we need to deposit. After selecting the different metal for different applications, we will be selecting the metal, and that metal will be converted to a vapor. So this vapor conversion will be done with the help of a different heating mechanism. Okay, so there are different heating mechanisms used. So these heating mechanism can be by resistive heating, or by using e-beam heating, or we can use RF heating, or also we can use inductive heating. Okay, so one of the top two methods that we will be using for heating is, here the resistive heating is used, or if high beam energy or high energy is required, in that case we can use e-beam. These two are less frequently used. So most frequently it is resistive or e-beam type of heating is used to basically convert a metal to a gas or vapor. Okay, in the second step we will be transporting this vapor transport this vapor transport vapor to the target. So where this metal need to be deposited, we will be transporting that vapor that we have generated of a metal to the target atom, target material. Okay, or target location. What we call it. The third step is once the vapor is reached to the target, it will be doing the process of condensation. Condensation will be done, and nucleation will be done, and growth will be done. Okay, so here growth means the metal deposition will be taking place. Okay, so here there are three different steps. So in the first case, vacuum evaporation. This is the experimental setup in case of vacuum evaporation. So here this is a process chamber. Here the substrate is put into the curved surface. This is the source, that is metal, that will be there. We will be hitting this metal. Okay, and different pumps are used basically to create a vacuum, because it is vacuum evaporation is there. So to generate a vacuum, different pumps are used. Okay, so this is the experimental setup. So here in case of vacuum evaporation, first of all, this substrate is placed at lower temperature than your source, because source is heated and it is made to convert into a vapor. So this is placed at higher temperature, the source, that is source metal, whatever metal we need to deposit, and this substrate is placed at lower temperature. Okay, so this metal source is placed at higher temperature, and this metal source is heated to form vapor. Okay, and these metal vapors condense at the substrate. So these metal vapors will be condensed on the substrate. Okay, so this is all about the vapor deposition method. Okay, so why it will be condensing? Because this substrate that is placed at lower temperature, and this vapor is having high temperature, so high temperature will come in contact with the substrate that is at lower temperature, so it will be go for condensing. Okay, the second method, so in case of sputtering method, basically here whatever metal there, that metal that need to be deposited is taken off large disk size is used. So metal that need to be deposited is placed in the form of large disk like structure. So large disk like structure will be there of the metal, whatever metal need to be deposited. Okay, and on that we will be bombarding with the electron beam. So basically electron beam bombardment will be done on the metal. So when bombardment will be done on this large disk of metal, so as high energy beam are going to uh, fall on this disk, metals that are there, that will be pulled here. So this metal is pulled out to deposit on the substrate. Okay, so here when high energy electron beam is going to fall on this metal disk, that will be pulling the metal from the disc, and that pulled metal will be made to deposit on the substrate. Okay, so this is how these two methods work. So there are some advantage and disadvantage. So in case of advantage, so here the advantage of sputtering method is like, if we are going for you can say alloy deposition. For alloy deposition, which because alloy is made up of two different metals or two different composition materials. Okay, two different materials are there. So two different materials or more than two materials are there. So suppose this is material 1, material 2, material 3. So its melting point will also be 1, melting point 2, melting point 3. Three different melting points will be there. If we are going to use the first method, that is vacuum evaporation method, if we are going to apply vacuum evaporation method on these three, or you can say on the alloy type of deposition, then in that we will be heating. So suppose we have heated at 1000 degrees centigrade, but one of the metal is there. So this is having melting point of 1100 degrees centigrade. So this will not be heated. Okay, so here in case of alloy type of deposition, this vacuum type of evaporation method fails. It will be like it will fail because it will not be evaporating all the materials at the same time. So for that case, we will be going to use sputtering method. So in case of alloy type of deposition, sputtering is used. So this is one of the advantages of this sputtering method. And the disadvantage in case of sputtering is, so we have already seen, if we are going to use a high energy electron beams, it will basically damage the wafer, because so this high energy electron beams will basically damage the substrate or the wafer. Another method is it can contaminate the wafer. So this sputtering method, as it is going to have high energy electron beam bombardment of the material, and that material will be deposited on the substrate. So there will be a chance of contamination in case of sputtering method. Okay, so this is all about your metallization.